notice anything different, but I have lost 12 pounds in the past, I don't know. Honestly, since I started working out, it's been about 2 months, 3 months, honestly, at this point. But when I was at the doctor's office about 2.5 weeks ago, I was 12 pounds heavier than I am now. So I don't know if that was just like, I don't know how it happened, but I've been eating healthy. I've been going to Orange Theory. I'm really excited about my body. I'm really excited about my fitness levels at this point. I'm really excited about how I'm eating. I feel like really energized. I'm drinking less coffee. I'm more happy, excited, motivated. It's really helping my ADHD. So yeah, anyways, I didn't film an intro to this video, so I just wanted to bring you guys along with me with some of the things that I've been eating recently. I go through one of my go-to favorite breakfasts, as well as some marinated veggies, and I show you guys how I make my pesto. There's gonna be a part 2 to this because I'm trying to get down the meal prepping thing, right? Because I'm so busy during the week with work, going to the gym, then I work more, so it's like I'm honestly just working a bunch and doing my YouTube now. So it's really easy and convenient for me to just meal prep more. I'm still learning the ins and outs of it. I'm doing my own research and kind of just making things of my own. So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Let's get right into it. Happy spring, everyone. I know it's late, but today I wanted to take you guys along with me with a little meal prepping I did. Honestly, didn't do too much, but these are just some of my go-to weekly recipes. So what I'm making today is a plum pear baked oatmeal. It's one of my favorite go-to breakfasts. It's so easy. You make it on like a Sunday or a Saturday, and you have breakfast for an entire week. So if you're interested, keep on watching. The first thing I like to do is just prep my fruit, because I do put a layer of fruit on the bottom of the baking dish, and I do add a little bit of fruit into the oatmeal mixture, and then it also goes on top. So it's easier just to have it all prepped. So what I did was cut up some plums. I used about 4 or 5 plums, and I used 2 whole pears. Honestly, you could use any fruit of choice. I think banana would be good. I even wonder if like a banana date or banana blueberry. I mean, honestly, any type of fruit that you have would be good. I've seen people use apple and have done like an apple crisp baked oatmeal. So just really get creative with it and use whatever fruit you have on hand. I just happen to really love plums and I really love pears, so I just thought together they would mesh really well. This is actually one of my favorite parts. I love to line the bottom of the baking dish with my fruit of choice. In this case, like I said earlier, it is pear and plum. So you could put it in any pattern or direction that you want. I tried to make a pattern out of it I tried to make a pattern out of it at first, but unfortunately that pattern kind of got lost in the sauce. So, yeah. At least it's on the bottom right. That's what I tell myself anyways. Due to me having a really small space, I live in a tiny 1-bedroom cottage. I don't have enough kitchen space, kitchen counter space, storage space, anything. I don't have a dishwasher. Well, I do. My boyfriend. I'm just kidding. I'm too funny. But I tend to use like the least amount of dishes that I possibly have to. So if you appreciate that, you'll like my videos. Sometimes I make a full disaster though, you know, that's just how it goes. Anyways, so I did start with 2 cups of rolled oats. I did use organic oats. Whatever you have on hand is perfectly fine. Whatever your preference is perfectly fine. I also used 1.5 cups of almond milk, and I did a 1/2 cup of water. Typically I would do 2 cups of almond milk or whatever milk of your choice, but I ran out of my fresh homemade almond milk, so I just went with water. And I did add 1 egg to this, and when I made my almond milk last week, I actually had a bunch of almond pulp left over, and I really try not to waste things, so I just added the almond pulp back into this. I honestly love it. It adds a little more texture to it. I love the nutty flavor it adds to it. So yeah, it's just a good way, in my opinion, to use up the almond pulp. This recipe is honestly foolproof, guys. I'm just eyeballing it here. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and I'm going to do the same exact thing with my cinnamon. I honestly just poured whatever was left in this bottle. It was probably about 2 teaspoons or so, but I love cinnamon. So if you love cinnamon, add as much as you want. Add as much vanilla as you want. Then you want to go ahead and add about a teaspoon of baking powder to this. Okay, so next I go ahead and I add about 1/3 cup of honey to this recipe. It's honestly so foolproof. You can add any sweetener of your choice. Maple syrup would be good. You can use regular sugar, coconut brown sugar, regular brown sugar, stevia, agave, and honestly anything that you like or that you have on hand, your choice of sweetener, I think it would turn out absolutely delicious either way. So I would just do it, like I said, with what you have on hand. It doesn't have to be exact. This is the type of cooking I try to do. Now, there are some recipes, where I do have to have specific ingredients, but honestly, I think just get creative with it and alter it to your liking, and I think it'll turn out perfect. This next step is completely optional. I had a little extra fruit that I cut up that I wanted to add into the batter, and I honestly did the same thing with my last plum baked oatmeal. I had some extra blackberries that I knew if I didn't eat within the next couple of days they were going to go bad. So I just chopped them up and threw them in there. It doesn't have to be plums, it doesn't have to be pears. You can use any fruit you have on hand. I honestly think it would turn out perfectly fine. If you don't like plums, you don't like pears, maybe try doing strawberries, blueberries. I'm honestly going to use blueberries next time because I have a ton of blueberries at my house. So again, just get creative with it and use what you have on hand. I think, again, it will turn out absolutely amazing. Once you thoroughly combined everything, go ahead and pour the batter or the oatmeal mixture on top of your bottom layer of fruit and just go ahead and just even it out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I try to make mine as even as possible. This is one of my favorite parts, is just taking the fruit and layering it on top. I also love eating the top and the bottom layer because I love fruit so much. So all in all, this is my favorite part. But any design you want, I just try to like alternate the plums and the pears from each other. It didn't work out 100%, but it did for the most part. So again, just one even layer. If you want to add extra, by all means, it'll all cook into the oatmeal, and either way you do it, it'll definitely be delicious. So this next part is, again, completely optional. I added about half a teaspoon, maybe a little more, of coconut brown sugar on top, just for a little extra added sweetness, and also I think it helped caramelize the fruit on top as well. So again, completely optional, but if you do end up trying it, please let me know if you like it. This is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. Dun dun dun! This is the finished product. I did end up going outside to take advantage of the lighting. I thought it looked absolutely beautiful. It turned out so amazing. The pear and the plum go absolutely perfect together in my opinion. So give it a try. Alright guys, we're just gonna jump right into the next thing I made on Sunday. This is one of my favorite, well, I should say one of John's favorite things I make, because I really love pesto, right? But it's definitely not a traditional pesto, so don't come at me. I'm actually usually only using spinach in my pesto, just because I feel like basil is really hard to come by, especially in the winter or like early spring if you live in Pennsylvania like me. I don't have a lot of access to fresh basil as I would like. It's definitely easier to get spinach, and honestly, I mean, I think it turns out delicious, and I know John does. He's addicted to my pesto. But anyways, I honestly put a little too much spinach in my food processor. It took me a while to get it to grind all up. But I did 1.5 packages of spinach. I used the half package, which I usually don't add, but I knew it was going to go bad because I had opened it and used a little bit of it for a different recipe this week. So just go ahead and shove any greens of your choice. Like I've used spinach and arugula. I've used spring mix before. I honestly think it's all personal preference. And again, something I really think is important to just get creative with what you have on hand. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make it your own, if you understand what I'm saying. I typically add about a fourth cup of olive oil to this. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was a little short again, but you know, I made it work. So I just added what I had into it. Okay, so I also like to add some lemon juice into it. Make sure you remove the seeds. It is so hard. Like for me personally, when the seeds fall into the pesto or the spinach before I like grind it all up, it makes me so mad because they're really slimy and hard to get out. But I don't know if you guys have ever had a lemon tea before. They are so bitter and so nasty. So just try to get rid of those, okay? And I also like to honestly use the whole bulb of garlic here. I'm just going to pull it apart and start crushing and peeling the garlic. We are garlic fiends in my house. In my opinion, there's no such thing as too much garlic. I love the taste of it. It's honestly, it's amazing. So add as much garlic as you like. Don't add garlic if you don't like it. I mean, it's completely foolproof. Whatever you like, whatever you prefer, your preference, you know, do it to your standards. But this is just how we do it. And this is honestly something that I don't always add to my pesto, but today I was feeling a little bit spontaneous. I think spontaneous is the perfect way to put it. So I just added some freshly grated Parmesan cheese to it. It adds a nice salty flavor and a whole other profile of flavor. So if you like cheese, I would recommend adding it. I don't do it all the time because I like to watch my cheese intake. So if you're feeling a little cheesy, add it. If not, it'll still taste delicious without it. Okay, so you want to go ahead and add your lemon juice, freshly squeezed, of course. I don't use that bottled stuff. I think it's honestly not good. So I recommend freshly squeezed lemon juice. Now you want to go ahead and add all of your garlic in. We're just going to pulsate it all together. So if you want to chop it up a little bit, by all means, you can, but just throw it in there. It's perfectly fine. I honestly used a lot less garlic than I thought I did. So anyways, just go ahead and sprinkle your Parmesan cheese in. Add as much as you want, as little as you want. Like I said, it's completely up to you if you even want to add it at all. I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning the pesto here. I would recommend seasoning it to your liking. If you want to do it exactly how I did it, just, you know, kind of eyeball it. I always add red pepper flake because we like to get things a little spicy up in this house. So if you like spicy, I recommend adding red pepper flakes. You will not regret it. I also went ahead and added just a little bit of Italian seasoning for some extra flavor. Again, completely optional. Up to you. Add a little bit of salt-free seasoning. I got these from Aldi's, the Aldi's brand salt-free seasoning. And you're just going to want to go ahead and get ready to pulse this bitch up. I didn't record the pulsating part because it's honestly really annoying and you can't really see much, but I would just recommend pulsating it until it's to your liking. I try to do it a little bit on the chunky side, a little bit on the smooth side. So this was my finished product. I like to put it in a cute little mason jar. I think it stores it really well and also shows how vibrant and green the color is. And you can add this to a pasta. You can use it as like a sauce for burgers or a sandwich. I mean, as you'll see in the next clip, I even added it to kind of marinate my vegetables that I cooked in the oven. Unfortunately, I didn't get a clip of me cooking them, but I do think that, you know, you can use so many different things for pesto. Look how beautiful that color is. Ugh. I'm actually going to chop some vegetables up because I had some pesto that didn't fit in the container. So I just wanted to add the pesto on top of my cut veggies, and I am going to bake it later tonight. Typically what I do is I add it to my salad. I just add the cooked vegetables on top of my salad, or I can use them on the side, but honestly I usually just put them in my salad. It adds extra flavor and helps me not need to use dressing. I also really like to use zucchini in my cooked vegetables that I add to my salads for extra flavor. So, you know, use whatever vegetables you like, but this is just my preference. Do you guys remember a little far back in my other video, in my earlier clips, how I said I wanted to marinate my vegetables? That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just taking whatever leftover pesto that I had from the batch that did not fit in the container, and I'm just, putting it over top of my veggies. I'm going to mix it together and just let it sit in the fridge and then bake it in the oven when it's ready to be used. I just want to show you guys what I ended up eating for dinner this night. I roasted my veggies that were marinated in pesto, and then I just honestly went ahead and added them to my salad. I don't use any dressing, but I did add some olives, feta cheese, and tomatoes on top, and it was really good. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, I would really appreciate if you would like, comment, subscribe. I know that I haven't been posting that much. I've just been really busy, but I'm trying my best to stay consistent. I have a lot more cooking content coming because that's ultimately what I want my channel to be based around, not really the vlogging thing. I do enjoy vlogging, so you still may get a couple of those videos now and again, but really I want to focus on cooking and baking because that's my passion, and I'm trying to do it in a way to where it's healthier now. So if you want to learn with me, you want to come along with this journey with me and see how healthy I can get myself, what goals I meet, please continue watching. There will be a part 2 to this video next week, so if you liked it, stay tuned. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.